Welcome to How Not to Build a Pool, taking almost 2 years, brought to you by Anthony and Sylvan Pools, starring, well, apparently no one. So this video you're about to see is actually a day-by-day time-lapse of the construction of my new house. And while that construction has gone quite well with the builder that I chose, unfortunately, it's also turned into something of a comedy of errors, or perhaps just a tragedy, with a couple of the contractors that I picked out to do some of the specialized work. Now here we are at the start of the construction. I've spent years clearing cactus and cedars out of this area and essentially cleaning up the land, building some other buildings, and I've spent a little bit of time leveling some of the area and going through it with the builder just in preparation of starting construction. Now from here the video will play at 1 day per second, and you'll get an idea of how this progresses, and I'll slow down or pause when we hit certain interesting points. Now this camera is a Wi-Fi pan-tilt zoom that I attached to a tree and have pointing to the area. It's battery powered, so I had problems with both running out of battery, the camera resetting on occasion, and just having bad connection and not streaming good video. So sometimes the time will change depending on the frame, and just sometimes the video quality will go bad. But for the most part, I've got a pretty consistent record, and I tried to record the frame at about 1 o'clock every day, just so that you get a similar feel. And as you can see, we start on January 31st, 2021, and we proceed through almost to the end of 2022. And so right out of the gate, the builder starts site prep, and the foundation guys start working on bringing in fill, and we immediately hit the freeze-pocalypse here in Texas, which caused PVC pipe everywhere to burst, and so PVC prices suddenly went through the roof if you could get it. And of course, this was already at the start of the pandemic when wood prices had shot up by the time we got started. So I'm going to pause the video here. So the plumbing for the house has been done for almost a week now, and we've been trying to get Anthony and Sylvan out so that we could cut all the beams and pour the slab. They're supposed to be building an equipment room off the corner of the garage here right in the front of the frame, and it took a week before they came out, and this was after trying to get them out earlier than this. So a week after we were done with everything else, they finally showed up and put the electrical and plumbing, and then had to come out 3 or 4 more times to get it done correctly before we finally were able to finish and continue with construction. So now at this point, we get to pour the slab, and very quickly we start framing up. And this is always fun to watch just how fast this framing goes. And you can see as here we come to the second story. You get to watch the crews over cooking their food for lunch. And use trusses for the roof, so those go up pretty quick too. Now on the delays on the equipment room, I'm willing to give everyone a break there. It was the middle of COVID, and this isn't something they do regularly, so people got confused. And they came along and started digging the pool in a few days, and whoops, what happened to the pipes? So something's not right. So they came out and they got it all formed up, and they brought plumbing out and then disappeared with it. And so days go by. We see the roofers have been out, and they're putting underlayment up, but that's 2 different colors. Something's going on there. This is Green Knight Metal Roofing, who sent a completely unexperienced crew out, who at this stage has now just screwed half of the roof on. This is a metal roof that they have now screwed through the tops of the shingles. Hey, the pool guys are back. And finally we have some plumbing and we have some metal, and we are now into July. And so it's fine. We're building the house, but the roof's gone now. So Green Knight has just come and ripped off all the ones that they did wrong, and they are now waiting on the supplier to replace it. And through all of this, we've rocked the side of the house, we've done everything, and the pool, nothing's happening. And okay, Green Knight got some material, and they've put most of the roof back on, but they don't have enough material to finish. And so we sit, and of course, with the roof, it leaked, and it leaked, and it leaked from the day that they were supposed to have dried us in. Oops, there's ladders. They put a little more on the roof, and we still don't have all the pieces. So this was fun. We eventually ended up, we went through multiple people here, and so let's see, where are we at? We're almost to the end of 2021. So the pool and the house, everything should have been finished within another month or two. And the house is coming along pretty good. You know, it's fun watching. You can see all the windows are in now. They're doing a lot of work on the inside, but you can't see a lot of that. And painters are out and working on the ceilings on the outside porch. That's all covered up now. And still no progress on the pool. No gunite, no anything. And we're starting to say, come on, guys, we got to be done by January. It'll be a year. And still nothing, still nothing. And, of course, there are a lot of mistakes out here that I keep pointing out to the builder. There's mistakes, no equipment in the equipment room yet at this stage. Oh, there I am over sorting out some roof. Hey, we've got roofers back. So they finally get the roof done, but you can see that there are pipes crooked on it and other things. So we went through a lot with the guys there, and about this time is when the first project manager from Anthony and Sylvan gets fired, and I'm told, well, the new one will be around sometime in January. And so still no progress. Oops, hey, somebody showed up. So finally they sent somebody out and did a very little bit. And still nothing, no gunite, no anything. And so, remember, this was put in, there I am putting some drainage pipe so we can get some gutters in, because I can't wait on them, but I'm only putting enough just to go around the house. Oh, now we got gutters. And we've poured slabs for the air conditioning, and more snow in Texas. Wow. And bad frames from the camera. And so we've passed the year point, and I've got a second project manager, and still nothing, still nothing, still nothing. And eventually they come out here for too much longer and have to completely replace all of the forms around the pool, because they have been there so long that most of them have rotted and disintegrated to the point that it's unusable. So here they are framing the forms back up. Unfortunately, they didn't get them quite to where they were, so the shape of the pool's a little bit off. And finally, we gunite. But at the process of gunite, I said, wait a minute, that patio area with all those heads that are supposed to pop up and clean isn't right. It's tilted. And the project manager says, I'll look at it next week. And so he was fired very shortly thereafter. So now we start with project manager number 3. And we wait, and we wait, and we wait, and we wait. And so we're into April, and the house is pretty much done. We've got an extension from the bank for 6 months. We're paying 6 months more interest on the construction loan. But That was COVID affected everybody. Okay, finally they come along and they come and knock the thing out, but they don't get the forms in the right place. And we wait and we wait and we wait and we wait. And I come and finally mark, here's the center, here's where the form has to go. They finally come back and redo the forms, and they put plumbing in, but they get the plumbing wrong. And we wait and we wait and we wait, and they still no electrical put into all the part they busted out. And of course, in the process, they've managed to crack the foundation of my house because we're sitting on rock, and they're there bouncing around. And sorry for all the bouncing of the camera, but every time it resets, I have to try to reposition. And, you know, I'd really like to fill up that ditch. I actually watched one of their guys trip over the hole there where all the pipes are, but we had to wait until they got things finished so that they made sure, okay, they finally came back and did some more, and we finally get the thing gun-ited. This is over a year after they had formed this up to be done. Year and a half. Okay, now we're getting some tile. So we're on project manager number 3, and I've had to go all the way up to corporate management. They, at this point, have now fired the Austin office manager, and now I get my builder to come out. Finally, we can put in the decking around the pool, and at this point, Anthony and Sylvan has made yet more mistakes. Here they are putting the finger ledge that was supposed to have been a row of coping between the spa and the tile, and this is a week after we poured the decking, but they also forgot to put the drain line in for the pool filler or pool leveler, and so now they expect to come in and drill a hole in the side of the pool and put a drain that way instead of what they should have done originally. And yet we're still waiting, and as I'm recording this now, we're into November, and we still do not have a finished pool, and we've had to do a third extension with the bank. And Anthony and Sylvan is not responding. They are not completing this project. We had an electrician who came out for 3 hours for what they said they needed to do 3 days worth of work, and it's been another week, and we haven't seen them since. So I would say for anybody watching this, stay away from Green Knight Metal Roofing and Anthony and Sylvan Pools. You will thank me later.